this series of CEC Gurukul lectures, we are talking of process costing, about the process costing. In the process costing, we are especially discussing about equivalent production. And while discussing about equivalent production, there are different situations which we come across. The first situation which I discussed in my previous lecture was when there is no opening work in progress and there are no process losses. This situation we discussed in my previous lecture on process costing, especially reference to the equivalent production. Now I will be talking of the situation where there is no opening work in progress, but there are process losses. That is, there may be a normal loss and there may be abnormal loss also. So, in case of equivalent production, right, how you deal with it? As we are already aware that equivalent production means the finished goods plus on the basis of the work in progress, you calculate on the basis of degree of completion of the work in progress, you calculate equal number of units, and finally you get the figure of equivalent production. So, we know that in the process industry, in the process costing, right, there are process losses, because the very nature of the business is when you are converting from input to output, there are chances that there will be some process losses. This may be because of the very nature of the work, or this may be because of negligence, right. That is, the nature of the work is that supposing you are dealing with the say chemicals. So, in the chemical business, while processing, there is bound to be some evaporation of the chemicals. So, that is a process loss, that is called normal loss, which we discussed in length in our previous discussions on the process costing, right. And there are certain losses which takes place because of abnormal reasons, like that is, it may be because of the poor quality of the material, it may be because of the breakdown of the machine, it may be because of power breakdown, it may be because of negligence. There can be n number of reasons of abnormal losses. So, in a situation of equivalent production, how you deal the normal and abnormal losses, right, that is the subject of discussion, right, in this lecture, in the beginning of this lecture. So, normal and abnormal process losses are treated differently in the calculation of equivalent production. So, let us talk of first normal loss. Equivalent units of normal loss are taken as nil, means while if there is a normal loss of the business, right, of the inputs, so this is being taken as equivalent units is in terms of nil. I'll be taking an example, then you will understand in a better manner. In other words, normal loss is not added to the equivalent production. However, realizable value of normal scrap is deducted from the cost of material so as to calculate the net material cost. The net material cost becomes the basis of calculating material cost per unit in the statement of cost. Say you have introduced 1000 units. Out of the 1000 units which you have introduced, 10% is a normal loss, right. So, whatever the sale value of the scrap is, say each unit of the loss is being sold at rupees 10 per unit. So, I would say the cost of 1000 units, that is that we have introduced, and the normal loss is 10%, it means the output will be in terms of material will be 900. So, whatever the cost that has been incurred, I will presume that the cost of the material minus the scrap value of the normal loss, that will be the cost of the 900 units. So, nowhere we will show as equivalent production, we will simply say that this is the cost of material of 900 units, right. So, if there is a normal loss, that the loss value means the loss that has taken place, it will be presumed as this is the cost of the good units, and that will be basically deducted, the scrap value will be deducted from the material cost itself. As we will take a practical example, then you will understand it in a better manner. The other thing is abnormal loss. This is treated as if there were good production lost, means the way you treat good production, in the similar manner you will treat the abnormal loss. Abnormal loss thus is added to the equivalent production with due consideration to the degree of completion. Unless the degree of completion is specified, it may be assumed that abnormal loss units are 100% completed in respect of all element of cost, right. So, what it implies is that as far as the abnormal loss is concerned, in terms of abnormal loss, you will calculate equivalent units. If the degree of completion is not 100%, so you will multiply the units with the degree of completion and you will finally able to get the equivalent units of the abnormal loss. But if nothing is being given, you will presume that all this work that has been taken place of on the units, that is 100%, and the equivalent units is equivalent to 100% of the units, that is the abnormal loss. So, abnormal gain, the way you treat abnormal loss, now let us take how you treat abnormal gain. Units of abnormal gain are represented by good finished production. That is, as you are aware, in my previous discussion we talked about abnormal gain, that abnormal gain means supposing that you introduce 1000 units and 10% is the normal loss. So, what should have been the production? 900. But supposing the production takes place of more than 900, whatever the excess production beyond 900 is called abnormal gain. That is, if your production is say 930 units, so I will say 30 units is your abnormal gain, right. So, it is represented by good finished production, because abnormal gain you will able to know when the production has completed, production has taken place. It is therefore always taken as 100% complete in respect of all element of cost. That is, all the three elements, material, labor and overheads, we presume that it has been 100% completed. So, abnormal gain is deducted to obtain the equivalent production. This is very important. Abnormal gain is deducted to equivalent production. Now, let me take a business like situation and you will understand that how you treat normal loss and abnormal loss, right, or abnormal gain, as the case may be. So, during say January 2000 units were introduced in the process. The normal loss was estimated at 5% of input. That is, out of these 2000 units that were being introduced, the loss is 5%, that comes to be 100 units is the normal loss. At the end of the month, 1400 units had been produced and transferred to the next process. That is, 1400 is, you say, 100% completed units that is being transferred. Like if it is a final product, final process, you may say it is a finished product. If it is still to be processed in the next process, right, it will say the 1400 units is the output of this very process which will be transferred to the next process. This is 100% completed. 460 units were uncompleted and 140 units had been scrapped, right. So, 460 is your work in progress and 140 units has been scrapped. I will say it is a loss. So, it is estimated that uncompleted units had reached a stage of production. When I am saying uncompleted units, we are talking of these 460 units which in this example it says that they are uncompleted. Let me repeat, you please try to understand the example clearly, that 2000 units have been introduced. Out of these 2000 units, 5% is your normal loss. So, 100 units are your normal loss, 1400 units are your completed units, it is 100% completed, right. So, 1400 plus 100, 1500, 460 units were uncompleted, that is still in progress, and in this example it is given that 140 units has been scrapped. It is a loss that has taken place. Ideally, what should be the loss? Loss should have been 100 units, but here it says 100 units, 140 units have been scrapped. What it implies? It implies that 40 units must have been the abnormal loss in this business or in this process. So, it was estimated that uncompleted units had reached a stage of production as follows: material 75% completed, labor 50% completed, overheads 50% completed. Friends, I will advise you that whenever you read a business situation, or I would say an example, or whenever you read a question, you must understand the question very thoroughly, because understanding of the question itself is very, very important to solve a problem, right? That while you prepare the process account, if you understood the problem clearly, you will able to solve in a better manner. So the cost of these 2000 units introduced was 5,800 rupees. Whenever we take example, intentionally we take small figures so that calculations remains easy. Direct material introduced during the process amounts to rupees 1,440. That is, whatever the cost of material is, in addition to that, the 1,440 rupees worth of material were being introduced. Direct labor cost was 3,340. Production overhead incurred were 1,670. Unit scrapped realized rupees 1 each. What it means is that whatever your normal loss is, which we call it units scrapped, right? So these scrap units, which is loss, normal loss, this is being sold in the market as a scrap, and which fetches you rupees 1 per unit. That is, if there is 100 units, I will say this will fetch you 100 rupees. The units scrapped have passed through the process, so were 100% completed as regards material, labor and overheads. You are required to prepare a statement of equivalent production, evaluate the cost of abnormal loss and finished goods and closing stock, and prepare the process loss account and abnormal loss account. So friends, if this is the situation in a business, these are the facts, how will you prepare the process account and how will you deal with the losses? This is the question before us, right? So for preparing the process account, our final basic objective is to prepare the process account and the losses account. But before preparing the process account and the losses account, we have to prepare the 3 statements which we talked earlier. That is, we have to prepare equivalent production, we have to prepare the cost per unit, we will have to prepare the evaluation statement, right? So let's take statement of evaluated production in terms of the completed units. That is, what is the equivalent production? The first statement is equivalent production. So units introduced are 2000 units. Output is, NL means normal loss, AL means abnormal loss, FG means finished goods, WIP means work in progress. So 2000 units have been introduced. Out of this 2000 units, as you can see earlier, that you can I already told you that 5% is the normal loss. So 5% of 2000 units comes to be 100 units. So 100 units. So this is your normal loss. And I said earlier that of these normal loss, there is no equivalent production. There is no equivalent units that we show, right? Next, you have 40 units of abnormal loss. How you have got it? Because 100 units is your normal loss, 1400 is your finished goods, which is given in an example, and work in progress is 460, right? So it said, the question says that where this remaining units have gone, it is nothing but your abnormal loss, that is your 40 units. And if nothing is being given, we presume that the 100% completion of the work has taken place of abnormal loss, right? So this is 100% in terms of material, 100% in terms of labor, 100% in terms of overheads. Had it been given that this loss has taken place of different degree of completion, then I would have calculated this abnormal loss equivalent units, right? Equivalent units of abnormal loss differently. But here, if nothing is being given, we will presume that 100% completion of work has taken place on these abnormal units. So 100% of 40, 100% of 40 in terms of labor, 100% of 40 in terms of overheads, right? So this comes to be equivalent units as 40, 40, 40. Now comes finished goods. Finished goods means the goods that is being the output that is being transferred to the next process, right? So there are 1400, and since it is being transferred, it automatically means that 100% work has already been done on each element of cost. So 100% of material, 100% of labor, 100% of overheads. So equivalent units are 1400, 1400, 1400. And thirdly, of work in progress. That is, we have taken abnormal loss units, finished goods units and work in progress. In this example, 460 units is work in progress. But what you are given is that in terms of material, the completion of work is 75%. In terms of labor, completion of work is 50%, and in terms of overheads, the completion percentage is 50%. So, on the base of this, we have calculated the equivalent units of each element of cost. So, 75% of 460 comes to be 345, 50% of 460 comes to be 230 in terms of labor. In terms of overheads, 50% completion has taken place. So, 50% of 460 comes to be the 230 units, right. So, equivalent production, this is the final figures which you require. Equivalent production of material is 1785. In terms of labor, it is 1670, and in terms of overheads also, the number of equivalent production units of equivalent production is 1670. So, what we have done is we have prepared the first statement of equivalent units, right. Equivalent units, finished goods plus the number of units of the work in progress, which we treat as the equivalent production, right. So, finished goods plus the equivalent units of the work in progress, that is your total equivalent production in terms of material, labor and overhead. The second statement is that what we have calculated is I have calculated the cost of material, right. The only statement which I have prepared is statement. As I said that as far as the normal loss is concerned, the scrap value of the normal loss is deducted from the material cost. So, unit introduced is 5800, sorry, the cost is on account of units introduced is 5800. That is not unit, that is the cost. Whatever the units we have introduced, it is given in the example that this is the right 2000 units were introduced and the value is 5800. This figure we have taken from here. So, material cost 5800, right, plus direct additional material that we have introduced 1440, that comes to be 5800 plus 1440 comes to be 7240, and the scrap value of 100 units of normal loss is 1 rupee per unit. So, you have calculated this total scrap value is 100 rupees. So, whatever normal loss is, if there is some scrap value, right, you sell it and you deduct it from the material cost, right. So, the material cost that has been used, the material that has been used, I would say, in this process is worth 7240. Of this cost, I have deducted the scrap value of the normal loss, and what I get is the material cost finally. 7100 is the material cost, and the equivalent production is 1700. Equivalent production of unit in terms of unit is 1785, which we have already calculated. Here you can see the material is 1785 is the equivalent production. So, the material cost is of 1785 units is 7140, not 7240. Next is we are calculating here that statement of cost, that is basically our objective is to calculate the per unit cost. Material cost, labor cost, overhead cost, that is all given in this example. 7140 we have just calculated. Direct labor 3340, it is given in an example, or you may call it a question, right, and overhead is 1670. Equivalent production, we have already calculated this equivalent production 1785 in terms of material, 1670 in terms of labor, 1670 in terms of overheads, right. So, 7140 divided by 1785, that gives you the material cost per unit. 3340 the labor cost divided by equivalent production gives you 2 rupees per unit as the labor cost, and overhead cost divided by the equivalent production in terms of overheads, that is 16670 divided by 1670 comes to be 1 rupees. So, the total cost per unit comes to be 7 rupees, that is 4 rupees in terms of material, 2 rupees in terms of labor and 1 rupee in terms of overheads. Right. So, now we are calculating a value of abnormal loss. See, abnormal loss in this is given as 40 units. So, by now we know that what is the material cost per unit, what is the labor cost per unit and what is the overhead cost per unit. So, simply you multiply the cost of each per unit cost of each element multiplied by the equivalent production, you will get the cost of abnormal loss of element wise. So, 40 multiplied by 4, 160, labor 40 multiplied by 2, 80, 40 multiplied by 1 means cost per unit of overheads 40. So, the total cost of abnormal loss is 280. So, what you are seeing here is that in this statement we have just calculated the total value of abnormal loss. That is, first we have calculated the equivalent production which we earlier calculated multiplied by the cost per unit, that gives you the cost of each element of the abnormal loss, and finally we added up all the three, you get total cost of abnormal loss. Now, what is the value of the goods or of the quantity that you have produced that is being transferred to the next process? So, finished goods, you are already given that your 1400 is the finished goods. Again, these 1400 units have been multiplied by the cost per unit. So, 1400 multiplied by 4, 5600, 1400 multiplied by 2, that is the labor cost, 2 rupees, that comes to be 2800, overheads again number of units of equivalent production multiplied by the cost per unit, that comes you the cost of overheads, that is 1400. So, 9800 is the cost of the output that is being transferred to the next process. So, we have calculated the value of abnormal loss, we have calculated the value of the goods that will be transferred to the next process. Right. Now, the third thing is that we have to calculate the value of work in progress. Right. So, as far as the normal loss is concerned, normal loss is not being shown. Right. It is being, the value of the normal loss is being deducted from the material cost itself. We have calculated the value of abnormal loss, we have calculated the value of the finished goods, that is the goods that is being transferred to the next process. When I say finished goods of this process, and finally we are calculating the value of the total cost of the total value of the work in progress. Again, this work in progress will be calculated on the basis of each element of cost, that is material cost, labor cost and overhead cost. Equivalent production we had calculated earlier that this is the equivalent production, that is work in progress of material is 345, in terms of labor it is 230, in terms of overheads it is again 230. Now, we will calculate the value of the work in progress. Right. So, here you can see. So, work in progress value is material 345 multiplied by 4, 1380, labor 230 units. Here you are seeing for each element material, labor, overhead, the equivalent production number of units are different. Earlier in the abnormal loss and in the finished goods, the equivalent production units were same. But here, since on each element of cost the degree of completion is different, that is why the equivalent production is different. You must differentiate here, that why you may think that why these are different units. Right. So, work in progress is different units because of different degree of completion on each element of cost. Right. So, the equivalent production multiplied by cost per unit, that gives you the element wise cost of work in progress. So, 1380 is the material cost, 460 is the labor cost and 230 is the overhead cost, that comes to be 2070. Right. So, this is your basically, and you add up all these, this comes to be the total cost, that is material cost, work in progress, your these cost 9800, your cost of abnormal loss, and this comes to be 12,150. And now finally you will prepare process account. So, as you know, on the debit side, we show all cost, units 2000, material cost, right. So, 5800. In addition to this, you have added more material of direct material of 1440, DL means direct labor of 3340, production overheads 1670. So, all material, labor and overhead cost you are showing on the total of the debits on the debit side. And now on the credit side, you will show the normal loss, abnormal loss, the units that have been transferred to the next process and work in progress, right. So, your normal loss is 100 units, the value of this normal loss is normal loss of scrap value of this normal loss units are 100 rupees. Abnormal loss we had already calculated. So, the total value of this abnormal loss is 7 rupees per unit. So, the total value comes to be 280. So, 40 multiplied by 7 rupees per unit, that is comes to be 280. Similarly, the finished goods, because the cost per unit of abnormal loss and finished goods will remain same. We have discussed this point. So, 1400 units is your finished goods. What is the per unit cost? 7 rupees, 1400 multiplied by 7, that comes to be 9800. And now you have the balance CD, which is called work in progress 460 units and the value is 2070. So, you have prepared in this manner the process account where we are showing the value of normal loss, abnormal loss, or I would say the scrap value of the normal loss, abnormal loss, finished goods and the balance CD, that is work in progress. Now, we will prepare the abnormal loss account. In the process account, while you prepare the process account, right, you say by abnormal loss 280. So, while preparing the abnormal loss, you will show to process account 40 units 280, right. It is just transfer of entry, right, from one account to the another account, because since we follow double entry system. Sale value of scrap, had this abnormal loss means when the abnormal loss takes place, we sell the scrap of abnormal loss the way we sell it of normal loss. So, 1 rupee per unit is your unit cost. So, 40 multiplied by 1 rupee, right, the saleable value of your normal loss, that comes to be sale of scrap 40 rupees, and the balance amount is being transferred to the costing profit and loss account. This is basic funda of the cost accounting, that the value of the cost of the abnormal loss is not being absorbed by the good units, that is being separately transferred to the costing profit and loss account. That is why we say that it is a loss to the business that is being transferred to the costing profit and loss account. So, in this way friends, you prepare the normal loss account, abnormal loss account and you prepare the process account. So, we have discussed in this discussion, we have discussed this situation where there is no opening work in progress, but there is closing work in progress and there are process losses, right. So, in this type of situation, we prepare the equivalent production units, we prepare the value of normal, we prepare the cost per unit, we calculate the cost of abnormal loss, the cost of work in progress, the cost of finished goods, and finally, on the base of these statements, we prepare the process account and the abnormal loss account, and this way you prepare this process account. So, friends, we in our future discussions will take some other situation of the process account where there can be opening work in progress and the closing work in progress, and there can be losses also. Thank you very much.